Daniel,
Brilliant.
Good morning, Raymond.
Good morning, my dear lady.
And a good morning to DJ Black, who is visiting us this morning.
Brightening our studios this morning.
Well, he's wearing a pretty dark shirt. I don't know about brightening.
And he's called DJ Black, but still, he shines through the darkness.
Good morning, DJ Black. Have a great day yourself. But guys, so much has been happening. Whilst we were away over the weekend.
Yes, a lot have been happening, and there are suits, there are interesting developments. But let's go to the headlines first.
Let's do the front page.
Now, the Economic Times is reporting this morning 10 banks likely to lose licenses. Gold partners ExxonMobil to start oil exploration at Deepwater Cape 3 Point, and the BOG is tightening forex rules. And the 10 banks likely to lose licenses part was said at our forum, the Joy Business Forum.
On the front page of the New Crusading Guide, Kaswa Boy appointed Deputy Director of Operations of NPP Youth Wing. NDC Chairman unleashes thugs on own executives. Akufo-Addo gives hope in 2019 budget. Jamestown stool not commodity for sale. That's the New Crusading Guide.
The Daily Heritage is reporting this morning enhancing revenue mobilization in Ghana through tax compliance. Now, Opudis trial, second prosecution witness is giving hearsay evidence. That's on the front page of the paper. But there's one that should be interested in. The Controller and Accountant General Department is blowing some 39 million cedis on books, which has been abandoned for 18 years. MDS are saying the books are now unusable. So those are the stories on the front page. There's also a terrible one you should be interested in. Barbaric. Teacher tortures student for making noise.
Yes, we did this story last week or so, yes. The Herald, rented shoemaker. When they say rented shoemaker, do they mean the shoemaker was rented or the things that he uses to do the shoemaking was rented?
To my mind, the rentee is the shoemaker.
Okay, fine. Anyway, rented shoemaker remanded in prison custody over KNUST riots. Akufo-Addo's lawyer calls Iyoko CID BNI investigators lazy. Cocoa Research Institute doesn't keep records. Witnesses shocks court in Opuni trial. And Kenya Japan wanted Maritime Authority mess covered.
Now, the Daily Statesman is reporting this morning a deal at last. New teachers will do national service. Finally, they decide on something. And violence rocks NDC. Regional chair leads assault on secretary. And Ghana UK celebrate old relationship. Akufo-Addo 2-4 received Prince of Wales. And those are the stories on the front page of the paper.
On the front page of the Chronicle, NDC militias run riot in Tamale. Al Jazeera, Al Qaeda, Aluta boys.
And these are purported hooliganism.
Al Jazeera, yes. Al Jazeera, Al Qaeda, Luta boys attack party executives, vandalize cars and offices. Prince Charles joins the 2-4 Kwesida, and that's in almost all of the newspapers.
Yes.
The story of Prince Charles and Princess Camilla, Princess of Wales.
Duchess of Cornwall.
Yeah, Diana was Princess of Wales, right? Sorry about that. Dancing North districts declared child labor free zone.
Now, the Ghanaian Times is reporting this morning, shisha is fatal to our health, and that's the Mental Health Authority. That's the warning they are giving there. And more to benefit from Head of State Award scheme. That's on the front page too. I'm not in UK for treatment. This is George Anda, Deputy Minister for Communications, who had an accident over the weekend, and we understand he's doing very, very well. And one story that's very heartbreaking for me is Egypt kills Coptic Christian attackers. And those are the stories on the front page. 19 Islamic militants accused of attacking. You know, they have Coptic churches in Egypt.
Yes.
So they just bombed the place for no reason. So the attempt is to reduce the number of people who are Coptic Christians in that particular country.
You know, there's a lot of history within the Coptic community.
Yes.
So apparently that's where Jesus Christ wins to live.
Yes, and I've seen that particular church before. Interestingly, the next week when I left Egypt, the place was bombed too.
Wow.
So where Jesus was actually hidden and kept for a very long time cannot be found in Egypt today.
Wow.
Interesting.
But you know, beyond that, even the tourism potential is huge. I wonder why someone would want to do that. Anyway.
Front page of the Ghanaian Observer. NDC thugs on rampage. Parties, same story as previously said. KNUST, UTAG, TEU exposed over attempts to stampede reconstitution of university's new governing council, and 2019 budget full of hope. President Akufo-Addo assures.
That story is also on the Finders front page, but the NIA is finally back. They have resumed the mass registration, and I don't like the look on your face, clearly.
I'm excited. The look is a look of excitement.
Is that your excited face?
I can't believe that. Anyway, so
I'm excited, really.
finally, Pops Atefo's team is back on the ground and they're supposed to be getting their ID cards. I don't know how they're going to do with the timings, but the benefits of RTI goes beyond politics. That's the coalition that's fighting for this. You know, the parliament did some kitchen last week too. If we don't pass the RTI now, the parliament will not pass it. We have to decree.
So what should we do? How should we go and pass it on our own?
I think people should call their MPs to order. The MPs are responsible to their citizens. They should call them to order because they should reflect the desires and the interests of the people and not themselves in this case.
Good
Anyway,
point.
Very nice, very nicely said. Very nicely said.
Those are stories on the front page of the Finder.
Right, okay. On the front page of the Daily Graphic, Education Ministry mobilizes $1.5 billion. It's for infrastructure, $500 million to complete 766 Gets Fund projects. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, pedestrian killed on Tetakwashi Adenta Highway and court fines recalcitrant drivers 41,430 Ghana cedis.
The Daily Guide is my last paper, and it says here the Prince Charles visit is big time. Jamestown cane makers endorse one individual, and there's another one who should be interested in the NDC boys on rampage. And this is how they say spill blood in Tamale, and there are gory pictures of how the incident happened. Some narrations also in this particular paper. A minister escapes death in crash, and this is talking about George Anda.
George Anda. And finally, from me, the Business and Financial Times. And Raymond, I know this is a story that you're very interested in. Accreditation board to aggressively weed out fake certificates.
Yeah,
Yes.
fake honorary PhD.
Not just the honorary
in
ones,
this
but the
country,
actual-
there's been national chairman of political parties. There's been police officers who have carried fake titles on themselves. There's been very big people, for whichever reason, are very excited carrying the title anyhow. Anyway,
Senior broadcasters.
oh, I couldn't say that one.
Okay, other stories on the Business and Financial Times. AGI urges government to absorb cost on excise tax stamp and port reforms etal draw investors. That's it for the Business and Financial Times.
Raymond, this is not in any of the papers, but we have to do this first.
Yes, we have to start with it.
Yeah.
And this is because Capital Bank, the receivers of Capital Bank, being Vish Ashiagbo and Eric Nananipa, have actually dragged 16 people to court. And this is to the commercial division of the High Court. I'll give you the detail about the 16 people. There are plenty. So let me take my time. The first one is William Atu-Asian. He founded Capital Bank. Mensa Anamwa Otabel, who was a board chairman of the Capital Bank. That is Dr. Mensa Otabel. Ohineba Osayakoto, who is also a member of the team and also at a point in time a member of the board. Stephen Enchel, Kingsley Atagansa, Otabel and Associates, and this is different from the individual board chairman. Again, International Central Gospel Church, the church itself, Kwajo Ayisi Ahren, Isaac Osa Thompson Mensa, John Kofi Mensa, and let's not forget, he's currently the ADB boss. Edwin Obain Donko, and also Fitzgerald Donko, who was the MD until the bank went into his receivership. Amadou Montia, Kofi Kwakwa, Frances Edumante, who left the ball some time ago. She's also on the list of people who are being dragged to court. And Isaac Osa Thompson Mensa. All of these are the 16 people that have been dragged to court. Let me tell you 3 reasons, and there are many of them, but 3 reasons. One of them is that the joint receivers are alleging that these defendants, the 16, they were engaged in a scheme of fraud on its customers, regulators, and the public. And many of these actions, including the scheme of fraud, indeed culminated into the bank losing some huge amount of money. And the plaintiff's assertion is that the record showed that as a direct result of the misgovernance of the defendants, 16 of them, and the willful breaches of the banking regulations as of December 31, 2015, they have a cumulative amount of approximately 482 million as impaired and or non-existent investments, which are amount included the 52.3 million misrepresented to the Bank of Ghana as required capital for the grant of the requisite banking licenses. And again, they are saying that the defendants have failed and or refused to make payments of the said shareholder loans as at August 14, 2017, when the plaintiff was placed in receivership, an amount of 748,250,000. You hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In this particular case, and by a resolution on dated March, that's why they decided to do this. What is the PwC workers, and we know them, right? Demanding from, that's the people who are what they are demanding is simple. And they are demanding not all together, but specifically people to pay specific amounts. What they're saying is that they want a declaration that the defendants are in breach of the fiduciary duties to the plaintiff under the Companies Act. They also want an order directed at 1. William Atuesian, Dr. Mensa Otabil, Stephen Enchil, and also the 12th one is Fitzgerald Odonko. The 13th person is Amadou Montia, Frances Dumante, and also Isaac Osa Thompson Mensa. All of these defendants should jointly and severally for the payment of compensatory damages to the plaintiff. It moves back into taking on one of them. And it says here, he wants an order directed at 1, William Atuesian, to pay 468 million, being shareholders' loans, and 180. The amount here is interesting. And 108 million being facilities granted to him and his related companies, which remain outstanding and unpaid to date, with interest calculated on the sales sums at the prevailing commercial bank rate going back to August 14, 2017. He also wants an order which is directed at the third defendant, Ohineba Osayakoto, to pay some amount of money, which is some 36 million and also 24 million. So I ran through them quickly. Stephen Enchil is supposed to pay 73 million. And on the other end, Kingsley Ataganza is supposed to pay 36 million. He also wants the seed person, that is Otabel and Associates, to pay 51 million, which is shareholders' loans with interest calculated as of August 14, 2017. And also would wish that the church, International Central Gospel Church, pays an amount of 51 million, being shareholder loans with interest calculated as of the date that I did put out there earlier. Indeed, the 8th person, Isaac Osa Thompson, is supposed to pay 4 million, with the 10th in this case, John Kofi Mensah, paying 14 million. There's also a demand for the payment of amount of money by the 16th defendant, who is Isaac Osa Thompson Mensah, an amount in the quantity of 24 million. So this is basically what, of course, they also would want cost and other damages paid to. So this is the suit that was filed on the 2nd of this particular month of November.
That was Friday.
Yes. So this is what the...
So, Raymond, we'll go and come back. And when we come back, what we'll try and do is understand exactly what they are being asked to do. So we know they are being asked to pay monies in shareholder loans. We know they are being accused of fraud. We know they are being accused of breaching banking regulations. We need to understand exactly which banking regulations were breached, what constitutes the fraud, why these particular persons are paying these monies. And when we come back, that's exactly what we're going to do. But for now, anymore, let's look at another story of grave concern to us. Atta, a 22-year-old nail technician apprentice.
Yes, who was knocked down on the Tesakwashia Denta Highway, or the N4, as is commonly known. So what happened was that on Friday night, she decided to take a walk with her boyfriend to go and get food. Had to cross the road. In the process of crossing the road, she was hit by a car. And as she lay on the floor, barely alive, she was run over by another car. This brings to a total of 188 people that have died on that stretch of road. The youth in the area got really angry. They stopped traffic. They started burning car tires. They started throwing water and water sachets at the cars amidst chanting, "Fix our footbridges, fix our footbridges." And we know that on the 12th of November, that's next week Monday, there will be a peaceful demonstration from 5 a.m. Really just to push home the fact that if the footbridges were up and running, these 188 people, which includes children, may not have been dead. And we're going to continue with this.
Yes, we're going to continue this story later on in the show.
The other thing,
last night we were in Adenta, where we met with some of these guys to try and understand exactly what their concern is. Well, it may seem obvious, but we know that they also have concerns about safety features on the road.
Yes, speed ramps,
traffic lights, street
zebra
lights,
crossings.
zebra crossings. And we are going to speak with the Director of Bridges at the Ministry of Roads and Highways this morning on the show to ask him what's the latest is regarding the construction of these bridges, particularly since the Minister of Roads and Highways gave a deadline of October for work to begin. I want to understand what happened to that deadline.
But Daniel, when you say construction of road bridges, it's actually because the footbridges have actually been constructed. We're just waiting for the stairs that lead up to, and the fact that there are no ramps for the disabled.
Yeah,
so I would
it's
say
a
about
matter
70% of the work has been
It could
done.
even be more than 70. easily. But the point is, it's not done.
Yes.
Yeah. So Raymond, let's go to Tamale now. What happened with the NDC?
Yes. Now,
members.
the understanding then is that there's a team from the party that was pursuing an issue. Now, specifically, the grouping in this case, this is Al Jazeera Boys, which is affiliated to the NDC. On Saturday, attacked the regional secretary of the NDC. His name is Swalisu Biarube and other party executives. The claim is pretty simple. The group, of course, attacked also some constituency chairmen, but they were holding a secret meeting organized by the gentleman, that's the secretary, in an undisclosed location in Tamale. The indication said that the supporters of former President Mahama and the minority leader Haruna Iddrisu, who are from the region, have clashed in recent times. So the claim is that this group is worried about a meeting that is purportedly deciding the future of the NDC in the region. And these are also supposed to be supporters on one side from the former President Mahama, and the other, according to the Daily Guide, which are also supposed to be coming from the minority leader Haruna Iddrisu in this case. The understanding that these people have is that they've been subjected to the regional secretary who was beaten several times. He bled from the mouth and nose, while the windscreen of his official car was also damaged by the gentleman. And this is specifically in the Al Jazeera group. Now, according to the reports, the attack of the party secretary also angered the Aluta Boys, who stormed the office of the regional chairman, Alhaji
Which is
Ibrahim
different
Mobila.
from the Al Jazeera group.
So the Al Jazeera group supports the regional chairman. So they were the ones who went to beat the secretary because he was holding meetings in some corners and deciding the fate of the party in that particular region. There are some regional chairmen and some constituency chairmen.
Yeah.
So on the other side, the response was from the Aluta group.
They suppose the regional secretary.
And also went to attack the regional chairman in the region. If we understand that flat screen TV and other items were stolen from the office of the regional chairman when they invaded the place. Indeed, other people who were not even part of this particular scheme also got hurt in the in the fracas that actually happened there. Now, few days ago, we understand there were threats that those who have been acting and conspiring against the interest of the party will be dealt with. This happened on radio. There were responses from the other groups, and this is purely between the people that we are talking about. They have not acted yet. The regional secretary and also the chairman, they've not spoken yet. But it's the
boys,
who have assumed
Al
that
Jazeera
very good,
and the Aluta Boys.
Why Al Jazeera? Okay.
It's interesting that Al Jazeera is taking over the airways.
So Al Jazeera and Aluta are the ones who ended up fighting, but they were attacking the secretary and the chairman of the party. They have also issued some threats. There are other people who are seen holding secret meetings. Yes, to pursue somebody's interest will equally be dealt with. The interpretation of the paper is also that, well, there is time to be. There are other people who are equally at risk in the party. That is the minority leader and also supporters of the former President Mahama, who equally have been in similar states, are being dealt with. Yeah.
Right, Raymond, we have to go online now. In the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Banking, your best interest, Goil Good Energy. Download the Safe Doctor app now from Google Play. Safe Doctor, the future of better medical care. Now, from now to January 2019, anytime you buy Goil Fuel, 80 cedis and above, collect a scratch card, dial star 161 star 4645 hash and follow the steps. You'll receive an instant message for your reward. Then you'll get rewards like free fuel, airtime, lunch for two, driver's vest and many more. So buy more, text more, to accrue more points, because additionally there will be loyalty rewards every month. When you accrue the highest points, you receive a Goil Go card loaded up to 1,000 Ghana cedis fuel or free lubricant plus free servicing and hotel accommodation for two. So drive to any Goil station, buy more and get your rewards. Goil Efie promo runs till January 2019. Terms and conditions apply. Now is the time to own a Zenith MasterCard. Apply for your Zenith MasterCard or prepaid card and enjoy two great benefits: no issuance fee and a chance to receive a gift of the CD equivalent of $50 on your Zenith MasterCard. Don't be left out. Sign up for your Zenith MasterCard debit or prepaid card today. Offer is available to account and non-account holders. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. My joy online begins with #Royal Visit Ghana. Britain cannot walk away from Ghana's economic challenges. Otumfuo speaking there. The Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, is bemoaning apathy in voter exhibition exercise. AdomOnline.com has photos of 7 dead in the Gomwa Mpota accident. That accident, unfortunate accident, which occurred this morning, which was reported this morning, on the 6 a.m. news. You want to go see the pictures on AdomOnline.com. The BBC.com says Coptic Christian attack. Egypt's police killed 19 attackers. Raymond, that story we were discussing earlier. But of course, if you want details of the latest regarding the banking collapse, where PwC has taken former directors and other individuals and organizations to court, suing them for fraud and other charges, you can go on myjoyonline.com for all of those details. Otherwise, you can just stay tuned to the Super Morning Show. We'll be discussing it in detail on the show. But anymore, before we go, let's say a good morning to David Ando.
Yes, there's a feature on our darling, dearest, and super talented David Nana Kobna Ando in the Business Journal. It just talks briefly about, how he's managed to rise to become an award-winning photojournalist. With the GGA, he won 2014, 2016, and then he's won again. And he's also the award holder for the Environmental Excellence Award in Photojournalism. So this is from the Business Journal. They're saying, Ayeko, we here at Multimedia are so proud of you as well.
Good morning, Uncle Dave. And yes, we look up to you every day. You're a big man. We're going to take these important messages and then the BBC News at 7. Stay with us.
This was Kwame's Life before Interplast Ingredients.